In this video, we are talking money. Specifically, I'm sharing a book with you from an author whose courses I had taken courses from her 5-6 years ago around money, and her perspectives has healed me a ton around the topic of money, and I'm excited to share this book with you. Stay tuned. Welcome back to my channel. If you are a long-time subscriber, first of all, thank you and welcome back, and hello. If you are new here, I'm so glad you have found us. My name is Hesa Bujana, and on this channel I share everything energy, bioenergy, for the purpose of manifestation, including mindset shift also, by the way, for the purpose of creating more joy in your life, manifesting your life and maybe your business the way that you desire in your heart and in your soul. Now, before we even get into the topic of that book, the book about money, I just wanted to share a little bit about my experience when it comes to money, right? So for the longest time, I had such a hard time actually allowing money in my life, right? And even when I started my intentional manifestation journey, I noticed that I could manifest a lot of different things, but then I had so much resistance around money. I had so much resistance around money. Like I said before, I have taken this course, like I have actually not just one course, a couple of courses, like I think three different courses from, her name is Amanda Frances, years ago, like 5-6 years ago, and just those courses really started opening me up a lot, right? Really shifted my mind a lot around money, right? Fact of the matter, what I know now is that for the longest time I believed that money was bad. Like I really like, to every single cell of my body believed this, even though there was a time where I said no, money is just energy. I was really repeating a lot of these different things, but the evidence in my life was completely different, right? And then once I really started really healing around money, like it's so magical how it just flows, like it's so mind-blowing. The fact of the matter is, it's always our choice, right? We can choose, right? Like part of me believed that like anything around money was non-spiritual, anything around money was going to spoil my, like rotten my soul. Anything around money, whatever stories I have told myself, or whatever stories like really were ingrained in me, literally, I feel like now when I look at it more and more, I'm like, oh my god, this has been from the beginning. It's been ingrained in us, like in very subtle ways and in not subtle ways. What I have come to realize now is money is just money, it's just money, it's not just money. You get to utilize money for whatever is important to you. What matters the most for me, in my opinion, is really raising our consciousness, whether it's around money or whether it's around the way that we are living in this lifetime. Money is actually not a bad thing. As a matter of fact, right? As a matter of fact, when I first started on this journey of energy trainings and personal development, at first it didn't cost me a lot of money, and then very quickly it started costing me a ton of money. And when I said ton of money, like back now it feels very normal to me, but back then it was like, holy moly, why is this so expensive? That's what it felt like to me, right? And like whenever I was going to spend like $5,000 or $10,000 for a trailer, I was like, oh my god, like this is insane. And I remember there was a time when I actually, like, inside of me started getting a little bit angry around how much these trainings were costing, right? And because I was doing this personal development work, I realized even back then that it wasn't about how much it was costing. It was more about, is it valuable to me? Do I want to do those trainings? Do I want to pay that money to do those trainings? And the answer was absolutely yes. Like the answer for me was yes, right? I want to get like a mentorship from XYZ. Like it was so important to me, right? And then so of course once he got there, it was more like, okay, now what? if you really want to do it, if you really want to be able to really pay for those trainings that, like change you so much, has transformed you so much, now what do you need to do? And I remember specifically making a choice. I remember choosing that from here moving forward, whenever there's a training or like some opportunity for me to expand more, right? You can tell for me, a lot of my money is really spent on my personal development. Yes, like traveling and all these other things are really wonderful, but a lot of it for me is my own growth, my own personal development. And I remember sitting down and deciding, really making the choice. I remember this very specifically. And I said to myself, the day will come when I will be told that there is a training that costs these thousands of dollars, and I will say yes without panicking, without doing that, right? And that is how my journey started, actually, around money. Since then, I've taken so many different trainings. I'm not even going to tell you how much it's cost for me to take those trainings, but I remember specifically making that decision. And once I made that decision, then I decided also to learn about money. I decided, you know what, I want to learn about money. I want to learn about money, not just to learn about money, but I want to learn about money in a way that is going to make me feel more whole, right? Not that I need money to feel whole. That's not what this is about. But money in a way that will get me closer to my true essence. Because what I came to realize is that we actually use money, right? A lot of the times we say, like in the back of our head, we say money is the source of all evil, money, blah, blah. We say all these stories to ourselves. But then, what I came to realize, what I came to really notice is that, like in many, maybe like you want to call like spirituality or personal development, or some personal development or spirituality circles, then we kind of demonize money. Right? I hope this makes sense. Like we don't necessarily say money is bad, but like we kind of talk about money as if money is a bad thing, right? Like if you focus on money, then you are not so spiritual. No. Right? So I wanted to change that. I wanted to really learn about money. And I actually have had people propose to me, I want to teach you about money. And I'm like, no, I wanted to find the people that will teach me about money in a way that will be in such an alignment with myself and with my soul, and with my heart. And so I actually went on that quest, and I actually got to work and still work now with wonderful mentors around the topic of money. So I have mentors around the topic of energy, I have mentors around the topic of money, I have mentors around the topic of business growth, you name it. I'm always seeking my own personal development. That's it for me. And of course, there are other things that I utilize money for. The point here is that you will get to use your money the way you want it, right? The way you want it. And so what I have come to realize is because we've had so many preconceived ideas, right? So many preset ideas that it feels like the majority of humans follow those preset ideas. Some of the major things that happen that really what a lot of people may be calling blocks around money is really being afraid of what other people are going to think about them if they do so and so and so, if they have this, if they ask for money, if they charge for their services, what if this person, ingrained in us. This is why there's a passage in Amanda Fress's book, right, Rich as F, right, that I loved so much because it really talks about that. It has these sets of questions that you can ask yourself, right, to like to really free you, like in my opinion, right? The book is amazing. Like you can look it up, you can find it on Amazon, you can get the the audio version, Kindle version, you can get the physical version, whatever. I think it's all the same. But I wanted to share. This is why when I heard this portion, I was listening to it a couple of weeks ago, and I had the idea. I really want to share this with you on this channel, because a lot of the times, including me, right, like I experience this so much. A lot of the times, so much of it is just around what people think about us, right? Because maybe if I do this, then it's not going to fall into what most people believe. They're not going to like me anymore. I'm going to be different, blah blah blah, the stories we tell ourselves. So there is a set of questions here I really wanted to share with you, and it's about really admitting to yourself, really owning what it is that you want, right? And this applies to every single area of our lives, right? What is it that you want, right? It really, like, that's the first thing to manifestation, really owning. Yes, I want that. Right? What we often do is, I want that, but what if this person sees me? What if this person hears that I want it? What are they going to think? That's what we often do, right? And what I have come to see is that's like one of the major reasons why we actually are not able to manifest, because it's always brewing in the back of our head. Okay, right, here's the passage. It's just one passage that I'm going to read to you. The fastest way to reach into your soul and reveal the truth of what you really want is to ponder these 5 questions. If nothing I wanted were bad or wrong, what would I want? If no matter what I did, no one would be mad at me, what would I want? If nothing bad will happen, no matter what I did, what would I want? If no matter what I wanted, it would happen, what would I want? If I could fully trust myself to do my part, what would I want? Right? Isn't this amazing? I find this so healing. I find this to be actually one of the major reasons why, like a lot of the times think like life just starts just passing us by, because we are not really owning what it is that we want. Right? Very first step is deciding what it is that we want, choosing what it is that we want. But we are so, I think, tangled up, so obsessed and so absorbed by what everybody else is going to think about us, and everybody else, what can go wrong and all these other things, that we actually don't allow ourselves to really decide. And then we keep going like this. That is one of the major reasons why it becomes really hard, whether it's around money or whether it's around manifestation in general. Right? And so I wanted to share that with you. Even as I shared that, my heart just opened. I personally wanted to learn about money in a way that will open my heart. Really, not a way that will be like a defense mode, and I'm better than, not like that at all. Right? What I have come to experience once I really found the right mentors to teach me is really like my heart opened more. I love more. I allow more people in my life. I have more joy. I allow myself to have even more joy than ever before, because I'm able to hold a lot more. Right, whether it's the so-called bad side or whether it's the positive side, I'm able to hold it a lot more of all these other sides. And that to me is really living more fully my life, right? Much more grounded, much more open, much more, it's like much more one in my heart, and much more one with my soul. It feels to me like, no, way less judgment of others, and the rest is yet to come, right? For me, I feel like this has been a good foundation, and I have grown so much when it comes to money. Now I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. Like, you can see me like a lot of the times. Again, my husband, my office is upstairs, and he will often be down here, and like in my office I'm screaming, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. And he's like, what's happening? Yeah. And so it is, you know. We get to create our lives the way that we want it. We just need to free ourselves from a lot of all these things, right? We don't need to focus on removing blocks like that, in my opinion. That's my opinion. We just focus on what it is that we want, and then in the process a lot of our stuff will just heal, right? So on that note, I say goodbye to you. Like, this is the end of this video. I'll see you in the next one. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure that you do so, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.